Hi everyone, Tanin here. I am now at the Suvarnabhumi airport waiting to send Wong back to Malaysia. Today I would like to share the knowledge about how to maximize the brain energy. The topics that I like to share today is to understanding the three modes of the brain. Start with the lazy brain, or we can call it the idle brain. The second is the monkey brain or the monkey mind brain, and the last is the brain in a flow state. Let's start from the lazy brain. When you're tired, most of the time it is because of the brain is tired. Why the brain is tired? Because you use too much of the brain. But why we call it lazy brain? Let's see. Our brain is only 2% of our weight, but using around 20% of our energy. That's why when the brain uses a lot of energy, you will feel tired. But when you just wake up or in the midst of the day, sometimes why you feel tired even though you are not have any intention to use your brain, it is because the brain have one mode called default mode network, which is the autopilot mode or the automatic run mode. Normally it will use 60 to 80% of your energy. This one, the symptom is the fuzzy voice in your mind, the repeated ideas, or the worried for the future, or the regret on the past. How you gonna minimizing the DMN or the default mode network, or how you gonna reduce the automatic use of the energy? The professor Judson Brewer, the professor and the researcher at the MIT and Yale University, said that one of the effective way to be able to control the DMN or the auto use of the brain energy is to do some form of meditation. Let me emphasize here some form of meditation, and that form of meditation called mindfulness practice. Mindfulness practice is one form of meditation. When you do this, the DMN activity will go down, the energy waste will go down, because you have less waste, the brain will restructure, so you have a cleaner energy when you actually think of something. Mindfulness meditation make a brain tough and not easy to get tired because it eliminate the DMN. What is mindfulness practice? Normally, when we are in the default mode network or the autopilot run of the brain, mean that you do nothing, you don't put in intention on anything, or you're not using the frontal core of your brain, our mind will wander to the past or wander to the future. When it wanders to the past, you feel regret, you feel sorry, you think of the past, you repeat the ideas. Or when you think of the future, you feel worried of something that is not happening yet, you feel fear of something that could happen. The concept of mindfulness practice is very simple. You pull back your mind from the past or from the future, go closer to the present point of your being. You can do this by three simple practice. The first is breathe mindfully. Like we already understanding that mindfully mean being in the present, or be aware of what happened now, especially in your sensorial. So breathe mindfully mean that you're aware that you're breathing. So you can practice this by breathing in, conscious about your posture, conscious that the air have contact your nose, going to your lung and come out from your nose or come out from your mouth. You do this for 5 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day. You will be able to refresh and actually reduce the DMN activity. Second is or eat mindfully. each bite that you eat, normally when we eat, we usually socialize, or we usually see the television or the handphone. It will allow, if we see the handphone while eating, our brain will go to the DMN mode, or the autopilot run mode. So our brain will think a lot of things automatically. So in order for us to eat mindfully, we should not have the television, we should not talk, and we should not actually see the social media. And you are aware of every movement, and when you bite, you feel the taste. When you swallow, you feel that every bite has some meaning, and feel the appreciation. The third is walk mindfully. What I mean by walk mindfully is, normally when we walk, when we are in the autopilot run, we think of something in the future, or we think of something in the past, or we walk and we actually feel the thought with the social media. So important is you walk slowly, consciously, be aware in the present, and you find out the miracle in every step that you walk. So to repeat, in order for you to reduce the energy waste from the automatic mode of the brain, or the lazy brain, or the idle brain, you must put your brain focus to the present. So you can do this by three things: by sitting and breathe mindfully, you can walk mindfully, or you can actually eat mindfully. These three will actually help to reduce the default mode network. 60 to 80% of our energy normally used in something not useful. And for example, fear, 99% of the fear never happened. So we used to fear a lot of things, but the suggest here is for you to do it in a mindful way. The second, when you are actually in the present mode, mean that you are not thinking of the past, you're not thinking of the future, but you have non-stop thinking mode. So you have what we call in Japanese zatsunen, or you think of something wasteful. So you have intention, but your intention is actually used to something that make you tired, like you think too much kind of things. So you feel tired, not focused, and feel nervous about things. And this is another thing, symptom of the brain is use energy wastefully. Why the energy is being used wastefully? Because you have the monkey mind. The monkey mind is a phenomenon of the thinking. If you gonna do analogy in this, you think of yourself as a platform or the station of the train, and the thought is a train that come into the station, and the thought, inside the thought have a lot of monkeys sitting inside. So when you are the station, let's say it's my station, the thought will come in together with the mind. The mind is the monkey. When it park, or the idea or the thought park in the same station that you are in, the monkey will start to act naughty. So they will do a lot of things to get your attention. So once you get once the monkey get your attention, you will feel very chaotic state. In your station, there will be a monkey dancing, there will be a monkey crying, there will be a monkey sleeping, there will be a monkey worrying, there will be a lot of monkey in your station. So you can't separating your thought and yourself. Yourself become your thought, yourself become the monkey. So how to control the monkey mind? So the first state to control the monkey mind is you need to understand the hypothesis that our self is not the same with our mind. Our self is not the same with our thought. mean that our self is not the same with the chaotic monkey mind that actually come in a train to park at our station. So first step that you need to do is to label the monkey name. For example, if the monkey come in is actually related to the people problem, maybe you can call it people related problem monkey. Something related to work, you can name it work related problem monkey, or something related to the future, then you can call it future related monkey. By naming the monkey, you will be started to be look at the monkey objectively. The brain, when you start to use the language to label something, the brain started to feel different because you started to use the logic to do a semantic. Second, don't translate, don't give meaning, don't make important out of it. So human is a translation machine. If you see and you translate it, it will be very subjective. So what you do in here is you don't translate, you don't give a meaning. For example, when you see something in the internet, you don't press like, you don't press dislike. In the real life as well, when you see the monkey, it could be the monkey of your wife, the monkey of the children, that it will generating a thought in your mind. You don't press like, you don't press don't like. And the second thing, you observe it from a distance without giving a significant meaning. So you observe it coolly. So when you're seeing the monkey, other than don't press like or don't like, you also you're not go anywhere, you're not run away, you're not fighting it, but you actually just watch and actually see it calmly. So this is the two steps to calm the monkey in your mind down. The first thing is you need to be able to label it, call it by the type of the monkey that actually pop up in your brain. Second, you observe it coolly without any translation and meaning. So once you do this, the monkey cannot do anything to you. It will go back to the train, and the train will depart from your station. So your station will be without thought again, and the new thought will come in the future. You just actually practice the same way. So once you be able to get rid of the two causes of the problem, one is the idle but use a lot of energy. Second, it's not idle, you actually intentionally think of something, but the mind is too busy, so make you tired. But when you get rid of the number one and number two, your mind will be cleaner. So then you will actually be able to starting the third one. So remember, in this two step, garbage in, garbage out. So if you put in the garbage in your brain and you take the garbage seriously, there will be a garbage out from your behavior or from your brain. So in order for you to have diamond in, diamond out, we go to the third one, is you need to be in a flow state. Have you ever experienced something when you play games, or when you play sports, or when you're doing something, you forgot of the time, you forgot of yourself, and you'll be able to have 100% of the performance that you could have? That's called flow experience. Flow experience, or the flow state, is the state that you are very determined, the process that you are very focused, the state that you have the very high productivity. And this is the entry level introduction to the flow experience, to introduce you to the flow experience. So the word flow experience or the flow state is first introduced by the Hungarian American psychologist called um, Mihail Csikszentmihalyi. He's the very famous book writer as well, and he suggests that the flow experience is very important for the highest performance. When you are in the flow state, it is opposite of the first two states that you actually experience. The mind will not be clouded. The mind is very clear. The mind will go to the zone. The zone means the productivity zone, and the mind will go to the land of selfless, and the mind will go to the very high level of focus. So the condition that you go to the flow state, there is a simple 3-step that the professor have explained. The first one, you need to have a clear goal. So the clear goal is very important, that what you are doing this for, or what you can call this why. The second is immediate feedback, is the time dimension, or you can call this is when you can know the result. The third one is the level of difficulty, or how hard of the level of difficulty compared to the capability that you have. When the challenge and the capability is both high, and challenge is slightly higher than the capability, we go to the state called flow. Let me explain the relationship. When the challenge is too high and your capability is too low, you will be stressed out. But when your challenge is slightly high but your capability is low, you'll be worried. But when you have a low challenge and low capability, you have no energy in life. But when you have rather high capability but low in challenge, you will have a boredom. Like a lot of kids that actually were too smart for the school, you feel very bored. Or when your capability is very high and your challenge is very low, it's a piece of cake for you, or you feel very relaxed. But when the capability and the challenge is almost equal, you are in control, in your highest performance, in control, but in your comfort zone. And when your challenge is slightly too high than your capability, it will call the wake up call or the arousal. The best condition that human be in and make us in 100% state is when the challenge is slightly higher than the capability. We call this the flow state. How the flow experience is, we are already saying that it's come from the clear goal, why, immediate feedback when, and the challenge slightly higher than the capability, and it have to be both high. So when you have a clear goal, the importance of the clear goal is it have to be a clear and near and small enough goal. So remember it. Just to have goal is not enough. Just to have a clear goal also not enough. The goal have to be near, have to be clear, and also have to be small enough for us to be able to achieve. So the planning is very important. If we go for something very far future, it will be unclear, or it will be not near, or it will be not small enough for us to be able to achieve. So in order for us to be able to have a clear, near, and small enough goal, you need to do a planning and break all your objective into something small to be able to achieve smaller, nearer, and be able to achieve very clearly. So the planning is very important. Second, you need to get a feedback immediately. When you play game, you know in that game have feedback, any input or anything that you done almost immediately. So, but the feedback immediately in our brain is almost equal to in a timely manner. One of the phenomenon that the brain respond the same way and go to the flow is when you have a near deadline or limited time or the time attack. So the immediate feedback or the time attack will actually creating the arousal for our brain to actually go to the state. The third is do something a bit challenging, like I explained before, that both challenge and capability have to be high, and challenge should be a little bit higher for us to be able to achieve the flow state, or else if it's the same, it will be in a control state. So we should always put a high expectation for us to be in the highest achievable standard of our own self. So when you are in a flow state, the brain will also perform almost 100%, and your mind is very clear. You know that you can achieve it. You will achieve it in a very timely manner, and you will need to do 100% because the task is slightly harder than your capability. And the professor that wrote about the flow experience have mentioned that flow experience is almost equal to happiness. A lot of people never experience the flow. When people are doing good on something, they always go to the flow experience. They repeat success of something that a little bit harder than what they can do, so they can actually creating the spiral up type of inspiration. And this is the sharing that I have related to how to maximize the brain energy. I have touched down the topics related to the lazy brain and the idle brain, which actually have the main enemy is DMN, which actually used to wander between past and future, and it's the automatic mode for our mind. The second, I'm talking about the monkey brain or the monkey mind. You need to, because when you intend to do something and you think too much, your brain is overloaded. So you need to label the monkey that come into your station, and you don't translate the meaning of the monkey that come and doing something in your station, and then the train will go or the thinking will go. The third is the brain in the flow state. In order for you to be able to go to the flow state, you need to have three things. First, you need to have a clear, near, and small enough goal. So, and you need to know why you're doing this, for what. Second, you need to have an immediate feedback, or you need to have a very near deadline. The third one is the level of difficulty have to be high and higher than the capability. Your capability also need to be high and not higher than the level of difficulties. And this is the end of the sharing, how to maximize the brain energy, and hope everyone be able to have a bright day with a flow state and very less distraction from the lazy brain and the monkey mind. Thank you.